Hey everyone, welcome to Avian Games. I'm Jack. Just me today, no Chris. Bringing you another deck profile. We've done a couple now, and we thought we might bring you some more. So I thought I'd show off one of my favorite decks, Evil Eye. Pretty cheap, pretty affordable, unless you're running expensive things like some of the stuff I am. But other than that, I thought I'd share you this profile and maybe show you some videos at the end, how it functions, and you can tell me what you think. So starting off, I run 3 Surzeal, main starter of the deck. If you don't have this, you're not playing the deck. It's just too good to not play it on anything else but 3, and it's really the only Evil Eye monster that you super want to see all the time. Then you run 2 of Basilisk. I run a 2 easy special summon. I don't want 3. I don't really need a special summon all that often, and I really just want this, and it really is just a nice extender. A lot of the time, if I don't, or if I just have this, I'll just either set it for the 2000 defense, but that's not really going to get me anywhere. Or I'll just have it on board because some of the stuff that you have in the deck needs to have an Evil Eye on the field. But it's usually just a way to get rid of go up to a link climb. I run 1 Medusa. I used to run 2, but she's just not that great, and her effect's fine. She is the only other one that works with the equip spells, so she's fine. I like 1. I don't really need to go run into her more than once. 1 of this Catoplopes, familiar of the Evi? I don't know how to say that, so if you want to comment down, that'd be great. Give me full pronunciation. One of these though, because it's another nice extender. You can link climb with it if you can get it out, and then I usually like to go from the 2 into the 3 by using its effect Engrave and bringing it back out, and then it'll be banished. But it's a nice, easy extender to go higher in the links. Then I go Tour Guide from the Underworld. Pretty self-explanatory. Just another. This can get this out or this out. It's pretty good, pretty decent. Just gets more Evil Eyes on the board. 3 Ash. Pretty self-explanatory. And then 1 Dark Honest. This could be anything. I just like it because it's I try to bait Dragoon, and then because they're all dark, I just attack with any of my Evil Eye monsters, and then Dark Honest, and I win against the Dragoon. It's just a nice out for that, and Dragoon seems to be some huge problem to me all the time, so I'm tired of it, so I run Dark Honest. You can put this at anything, though. It's another hand trap, it's whatever. That's all the monsters, though. So now spells. We got 2 Evil Eye of Gorgonio, if that's how you say that. God, I'm butchering all the words. And 2 of Evil Eye Selene. This is the better of the 2. It's the one you really want to search and get off most of the time. These 2 are still really good, but you're probably like, this is like more of a late game play, or once you've kind of taken a little bit of a beating from your own self-sacrifice at the 500 life points every time you activate this. But pretty good. I think I have a replay that I'll show at the end that kind of reason why it's a definite run still. You don't need 3 of each because it kind of bricky. I need to get the monsters before anything, and I can search this so many ways. So this is fine. I think this is a good ratio, and you're able to function with or without these a lot of the time. You really want this, but you're still functionable without them. 2 of these of Evil Eye of Confrontation. I love this card. Easy search for spell and trap destruction, and I really love the fact that, you know, if you have these in the field, you can then banish that card. So it's pretty nice. Just easy searcher. You can search it off of Surzeal and then kind of play that, and it works pretty well. I do 1 Awakening. It's kind of bricky, I think, if you have more than 1, because you're only running so many Evil Eye cards, but it is good recursion, so usually I'll get, if I am starting to see that my graveyard I'm running out of the Surzeal, which I'm probably gunning for most of the game, then I try to go for that to get it out of the grave, but 1's fine. I don't think you need 2. 1 of Reemergence. I think this maybe could be a 2-2, like 2-2, but I just like it at 1. Getting the tokens out is nice, and going into those links is nice, but I just like it at 1. It's more of extension than anything else. Then you got 3 of Evil Eye Domain, and then 1 Terraforming. This searches you all your Evil Eye cards, or searches your Evil Eye monsters, but which can basically get you once you search this, you can get any of your Evil Eye cards. So run a 3 of this Searcher, and it's also my go-to destruction off of once I use Search effect. And then a lot of the time it has a great, or sometimes it has a grave effect depending on what you have in grave, or once it leaves the field. So super helpful. Run it at 3. Then 3 of Extravagance and 3 of Duality. Not a lot of special summoning in this deck, so Duality is fine. I mean, you don't need to go into these all the time, and if you want, they're nice to go into. But you can stay with Cerseal and be just completely fine. So I run this at 3 because you can then search exactly, like you can kind of guarantee getting something that will either make the play work or extend the play. 3 super poly, everything's dark, and if your opponent has dark stuff, that's usually the best bet, which most of the extra deck stuff happens to be for the dark. But you can also change these out for whatever. This is just the ratio that I've gone with. It's worked out fine. So that works. And then 2 Evil Eye Retribution, a Spell or Trap Negate, which a lot of the time, if I have extra ability to find something, if I'll start my hand with this, and I'll start with this, I might search out one of these just because it's an interruption in the opponent's turn, and that way I have 2 interruptions off the destruction of this, and then also have a Spell or Trap interruption. Then 1 defeat. I don't really need more than 1 defeat. It's definitely a good removal of monsters, but I'd rather run into this than this, to be honest. Still pretty good. You could run it at 2, but I like 1 better. I'd much rather 3 Crackdown. So I mean, I guess if I could cut a Crackdown and put into another Evil Eye defeat, that'd be fine. But I think Crackdown is much more consistent, and this one requires an Evil Eye. So a lot of the time, if I get really screwed, I can just Crackdown a monster back onto my field. And then 1 skill drain. Your monster effects, once you get beefy enough, I mean, it's really not going to matter to do. You can still activate this effect, and it'll have your spells go off, and you can still go up in attack. But I mean, this just kind of screws your opponent, and you really don't necessarily need the effects of any of these monsters. So I run it. It's super helpful. Can really save you, and it's really annoying to deal with if you as the opponent. Then for the extra deck, I run 3 of Zerziel and 3 of Gorgon. Honestly, you probably don't need this many copies, and I only run it because I run Extravagance. So I just don't want to. If I get rid of them, I like to have them, but so that's why I run them at max. And then these are just your super poly targets, like I talked about. You can change these for anything. This is a somewhat of a side deck and somewhat of a like other options portion. So like 3 Pot of Proserities in here only because if you don't want to run Extravagance and you like this better, that's fine. It's a much easier way to search exactly what you need. I just like to OTK as much as possible. If you watch the Toon profile, you know that I had the same discussion. I like to get it done quick, and I think this doesn't. This kind of limits that, but I could totally see that. So if you can afford it, throw it in there, I guess. Then Ghost Spell. I mean, it's just an Ash switcher outer, whatever you want to do with that. But honestly, the hand traps can be anything. I just like Ash. Strike. I sometimes will take the Crackdowns out, or maybe defeat. Depends on what I'm playing, and I'll put the strikes in. And then sometimes I faced a match which I didn't say the replay, and I won't be showing, but I lost miserably to some Mystic Mine garbage deck, and I instantly put in all these spell and trap stuff, but just a nice removal. And you can basically take out a lot of the stuff that you think that isn't necessary if you to put in Twin Twister. Like if they're not running dark stuff and these are just kind of like bricking for you, throw in the Twin Twisters or throw in the Harpy's Feather Duster, or even another just searchable spell and trap removal. So and like I kind of said, these could be at 2, or I could take one out for the other and put in a second one, depending on how I'm feeling about the matchup. But this isn't really like a super side deck, so don't hold any of this to it. And then, last time I didn't really say anything about the Toon monsters. There's other cards that are for Evil Eye, but I just don't think they're as useful as the ones that I have in here. This one is just not. I don't really like this one at all. And this one, I've had a lot of trouble once I've done Pot of Extravagance, and this doesn't get me my draw, and it's fine. I mean, I'm sure other people probably run it at 1. I just don't like it. This is much more consistent for me. And like I said, not the most meta version, I'm sure, but this is what I like. I play this competitively online. I actually played the other day, and I had someone tell me that they really thought this was a good profile. So shout out to them. I don't know what their name was. So if you do happen to watch the video, comment down below, and I'll shout you out or something. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Watch this. If you have any things I should alter, or if you're an Evil Eye player and you're like adamant that this is just terrible, I guess let me know down below. That's fine too. I don't mind. This is just what I like. Okay, just don't hate me. Anyways, check out these replays, and I'll see you in the next one.
Just